Not acting like it, so we're doing all we can. I had said earlier that Doug Schoen was going to join us today. He's a little tied up being one of the top legal analysts around. He's going to join us another day to talk to you about the Roger Stone stuff. And Frank, I had a couple of colossal, calamitous failures in today's show when it comes to introducing our guests. Right. I would expect that will be in a panoply of other mistakes I made in today's show. What's happening, my friend?
Let's begin with what you just said. You said just now that you said earlier that Doug Schoen was going to be here and was tied up. Doug Schoen was never going to be here. Doug Schoen is a pollster that works for the Bloomberg campaign. David Schoen, who's an attorney who's been a guest on the show before, he was supposed to be
This is why my board with my guests shouldn't be raised.
Well,
okay. My bad.
Now, additionally...
Well, let's get Doug Schoen in here, too.
Because, we're working on it. Trust me, if you paid him as much as Mike Bloomberg is paying him, he would go wherever you want.
Oh, that's true.
Also, you were talking about Randy Credico's letter to the court, and you, by and large, stated the case accurately. But you made a mistake that I think a lot of people make a mistake with, and I want to correct it. Just like when you were the guinea pig on the Ukraine versus the Ukraine situation, I'm correcting you, not because that's that big of a deal, but because everyone makes this mistake. You said Randy was urging the judge not to send Roger Stone to jail. Now, that's not really true. Randy is urging the judge not to send Roger Stone to prison. Now, I have visited prisons and I visited jails, and I can tell you, you would much rather be in a jail than a prison for the most part.
So Roger's facing federal time
in prison,
and that is a federal prison. Right, jail's like the county lockup.
Right. The difference.
That's what. What's his name? Jeffrey Epstein was in jail.
That's right.
The county lockup.
That's right.
They're trying to put Roger Stone in the federal pen for 9 years.
Right. The big difference, people at home, and for John to keep in mind is, prison is a place that you go to if you are sentenced to 1 year or more of prison time. It's where you go if you're found guilty of a felony. If you're found guilty of a misdemeanor and you do less than a year in prison, chances are you wind up in a jail. If you are arrested for drinking and driving and then they let you out the next day, you are going to a jail. Ask anyone that's been to jail and anyone that's been to prison, including our friend Aaron Comey, who was in prison for 15 years.
I couldn't believe that.
Wild story.
Was a hijacker.
Yeah, plane hijacker.
Basically, he didn't remember being a hijacker.
And,
right?
you know, it's funny. We got to have him back because here's a guy that was actually found not guilty in his trial by reason of insanity, which is very rare. And then his reward for being found not guilty was,
go to jail.
We're sending you to prison anyway. Right.
Wow. Well,
so
we got to get
into
that. I mean, talk about a miscarriage of justice. That sounds like it.
John, I don't even know where to begin on the Eric Mitchell segment. So Eric Mitchell, who has been a guest on the show before, number one.
Yes.
You introduce as Ed. So then, can I see the mini whiteboard, please? Can you toss that over here, Patrice Sikora? Thank you. So then I write on this mini whiteboard.
I know what happened.
I write on this mini...
No, you don't have to tell everyone.
Well, no, I want to just do this again.
All right, fair enough.
So I write on this mini whiteboard, Eric, right? So you then look at me and the whiteboard, and you nod. You nod to me as if you understand, and you say, "I'm sorry, Eric." And then you proceed to ask him all sorts of questions about physical fitness. I couldn't believe my eyes nor my ears.
Let me just, you know, I know you work so hard day and night, okay? But Liquid Lunch has been on air for just about 9 months now, okay? 5 days a week, 2 hours a day for most of that time, so 10 hours a week, 40 hours a month. Times 9 months, that's 360 hours. About 5 guests an hour times 2 hours is 10. That's about 3,600 guests. Let's put 20% in there for some of them that keep coming back. Take off 700. About 3,000 guests we probably had on this show by my math, okay? And every so often I may cross up 2 guests. One's named Eric, one name's Ed. So I screwed up, as I have before, and I take full responsibility. I may do it again, but I'll take responsibility.
All right. Well, we admire that about you, John. Now, because tomorrow is Valentine's Day, I don't want to have to buy any of the women that work here chocolate. I will be taking off tomorrow. So I will see you next week.
All right. And Frankie, he's always there for us every single day. You may see a little less of him right now because we're trying to get our act in order, and our team is here in full force, as they are every day, and will be tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, more Liquid Lunch.